Hey guys, what is up, and I welcome each and every one of you to a new League of Legends video. Today we're going to be taking a look, or at least right now we're going to be taking a look at LILLIA. The champion teaser has been released. There are videos of her abilities, so we're going to be going through all of it together, looking at what she does, exactly what, just theorizing about what you can do with her and everything. Let's just get this started, guys. If you're enjoying, you're excited, don't forget to hit that like button. Let's just get right into it. This is the teaser that Riot literally just posted 3 minutes ago. Let's go.
Mother Tree has shown me dreams of the world outside my garden.
The world. Interesting accent. The world. They're literally Nico.
They've taught me that all of us have a little sparkle.
That's a lot of Timos.
That precious light lives on, even when we sleep.
That's a cool looking mask. Oh.
And shines when we're facing the darkest nightmare.
What the hell? I wonder if that was a masked champion teaser or something.
Those dreams have stopped. And Mother Tree is dying.
Mother Tree is dying.
I can do this.
Yeah, girl.
I can brave the world beyond my garden.
Yeah, you can. Yeah.
Can't I?
Is that Bilgewater? Wait, that's Bilgewater, isn't it? Wait. Is that okay, someone in the chat I'm sure knows, or in the comments below knows. That's Bilgewater, is it not? I'm pretty sure it is. So that's a little bit of a teaser for LILLIA. I wonder what these masks mean right here. And then you also have Riven here chilling. Oof, man, it's intense. Now, skin spotlight. So there is supposed to be a page over here, which is apparently 404 not found. For whatever reason, but our boy Skin Spotlights has us covered. He has the abilities right here showing to us. So big shout outs to him, of course. Let's check it out. Let's look at it together and see what the champion does, and see what if we can figure out maybe interesting ways to you know, use her kit together. Let's take a look. Okay, so let's pause it. Okay, I want to take a look at it and then rewind and then read the ability. That's a passive. Passive, Dream Laden Bow. LILLIA's abilities apply Dream Dust, dealing a portion of the target's maximum health as magic damage over a duration. A portion of the target's maximum health and magic... Okay, so that's... I mean, that already is kind of broken. So, I mean, the second I see anything that does maximum health as magic damage over a duration, that's essentially a percentage. That, to me, instantly tells me that this champion could probably be played tank. If they have percentage damage, you can probably play them tank, and you're probably going to be pretty broken, because that's percent damage always like that. It's ridiculous. It's always like that. It's, I don't know. I think Riot likes percent damage too much. Okay, so that was the hell. Wait, that was the same thing. What? Oh, that was her Q. Oh, okay. So that okay. The big thing is her Q. LILLIA swings her branch in the air and deals magic damage to nearby enemies, dealing true damage to those at the outer edge of the. Okay, so literally Darius. Okay, except bigger. That's about Darius Q. When she successfully lands the attack, LILLIA also gets movement speed, so she has a built-in phase rush. Nice. Okay, so take a look at the passive one more time. I'm assuming he walks up and hits him there after. No, I wonder what that is. So it doesn't really. Okay, so the Q and the passive is the same thing in terms of the actual demonstration, if you will. This hits though, I think. Yeah, this one actually hits. Doesn't show the damage, unfortunately, so we don't know how much damage it actually does, but it's fine. Moving on to the W. Watch out! Eep! Fuck. Okay, I want to look at it one more time. Oh, so she like dashes forward and like smacks them real good. Okay, this champion. It's weird. LILLIA winds up for a huge strike with her branch, dealing magic damage to enemies. Enemies at the center of the impact receive more damage. Okay, so this champion is just all about having like... That's okay, so it's literally an H-Hawk. Okay, so we have a Darius Q. Followed by an Aatrox W, or Q. Third Q. Right, games. Are you guys getting lazy over there? It's literally, okay, so we have a Darius Q and an Aatrox third Q so far. Makes sense, right? So, of course, both of these, of course, combined with her passive, right, where all of her abilities deal a percentage or a portion of the target's maximum health as magic damage over a duration, by the way. Not instant, over a duration. That's important to remember, but nonetheless. Right, so that's her W, okay. It's interesting. Swirl Sweet. I want to take a look at it before I read it. So she put something on some debuff, and that's the thing that we saw on the ground the whole time. You can see now it's on Swain. Maybe if she misses, it goes on the ground instead, like a Zoe bubble almost. So what does it do? Lillia lobs a swirl seed overhead, dealing magic damage to enemies and slowing them for a duration. If Lillia's swirl seed misses, it'll continue to roll until it hits an enemy or collides with the terrain. So that's what we saw over here, by the way, right? That's right there. So she probably threw it there. It hit this little wall, and now it kind of leaves in the ground there. And I'm assuming, similar to a Zoe bubble or a Zoe E, champions can probably walk onto it, I'm assuming, and probably still take the same effect. Like, this just seems literally like a Zoe E, so far, at least, from what I understand. Let's take a look at it one more time. Yeah, so that's the ability we saw, by the way. So apparently the range on this is actually really long. This is her E right here. This is what we saw in the teaser that they showed, the champion roadmap, rather, they showed. That's her E right there. That's literally the same thing, right? If you take a look at it here really quickly, right? It's literally the same thing. Right, same thing. So that's going to be that. So apparently the range on this thing is, yeah, so this is literally Zoe E, but it doesn't require it to go through walls. In fact, it actually stops at walls while Zoe's E goes through walls. So it's like, almost like an inverse-ish effect or ability of a Zoe's E. Is that a good thing or a bad thing? I mean, probably if there's anything even closely related to Zoe, it's probably a bad thing. But anyways, so that's that, all right? And then it has a little debuff on them that slows them for a duration. Now, whether it's only movement speed and or attack speed is the question. Movement speed for sure, but does it also slow attack speed is the question. Now we have our ultimate. Okay, I don't like the way that looks at all. And the reason I don't like the way that looks at all is because it looks like a... It looks like an AoE Zoe bubble. Riot Games. Please. Say it ain't so. Say it ain't so. Lilting... Might as well just say tilting lullaby at this point. Lilting. More like tilting lullaby. Lillia casts a lullaby over her enemies and those affected by her dream dust, which I believe was her E. Okay, that's her passive, sorry. Okay, so pretty much any ability that ever hits ever. Affected by her dream dust, which applies by her passive by hitting any ability, become increasingly slowed before falling asleep for a duration of time. When awakened by damage, enemies will take additional magic damage. So it's literally an AoE Zoe E. So essentially, in other words, guys, let me just make sure this is fully clear. You can hit any champion with any ability, whether it's your Q or your W or your E. That'll do its damage. That'll apply its passive, which is probably going to do some kind of % HP magical damage. And as if that's not enough, it's also going to apply the slow from the E, if you hit it with the E, which then can also apply if you want your ultimate. So essentially, you can literally use your Q and then use your ultimate. And then everyone that got hit by your Q, because they get Dream Dust on them, gets applied by the Q. Then activate the ultimate. They have Dream Dust on them from the Q, which again is, you know, with the passive. And then they pretty much all fall asleep. So you do essentially an AoE at this point. I'm long range, arguably global, maybe. Zoe bubble. And then they fall asleep right here. She's gonna cast it. So she hits it with that. This hits the Q on the Swain. Applies their ultimate, and that right there is her ultimate. This part right here, this is her ultimate right here. And then it's still asleep. Then they fall asleep, and then you can hit them with an ability. Anyone can hit them with an ability, I'm assuming. It doesn't matter if it's Lillia or not. And they take not only bonus damage, so they take the abilities damage, they take bonus damage from being awakened by the ultimate, and they also get this thing applied to them once again, which is going to be more damage from her passive again. Dude, that just... Okay, I'm not gonna lie, man. That, first of all, number one, that seems kind of broken. Number two, that seems honestly kind of obnoxious to face. Like, I'm just gonna go ahead and throw that out there. Let's take a look at the rest. So that's the splash shard, okay. Literally Nico's sister would... Dude, Nico had sex with Hecarim and then made this, 100%. Literally. That's a Spirit Blossom splash. Ooh, that looks pretty clean, actually. I like that. I actually like that quite a bit. That looks hella nice. I wonder if the Riot page is up yet. Let's take a quick look. Let's refresh. Oh, nice, it is. Never mind, it's not. Dude, what? Come on, Riot Games. You got a page to work, you know? So yeah, that guy's right there is, boys and girls, more or less, Lillia. What do you guys think? Let me know in the comment section below. I have to say, I'm worried. Like, I'll be honest, I'm a little bit worried. This champion seems like a Nico Zoe combination of just ultimate obnoxiousness, AIDS, everything possible put into one. So to reiterate, passive. Her abilities essentially apply a dot effect that deals % magic damage, or at least a portion of the target's max health as magic damage, usually being %. Your Q is a Darius Q that also, of course, does extra damage around the AoE of it. And of course, it will go ahead and apply your passive, right? Dealing % damage. Your W Essentially, Aatrox's third Q does damage in the center more so, right? Also applies your passive, does extra damage. Your E ability, essentially, is an inverse Zoe bubble that can travel, from what we understand so far at least, globally until it hits a wall, essentially, or a champion, which slows them, and of course, applies. Oh yeah, it will continue to roll until it hits an enemy or class. Yeah, so apparently, I think it might be global, honestly. Which will also, of course, apply your passive, dealing extra percentage magical damage over a few seconds. Followed by that, you also have her ultimate, which, if you pretty much got hit by any of her abilities ever, you're going to be falling asleep. You can hit up to 5 people with this, technically. If you hit a 5-man Q into an ultimate, they're all falling asleep, and they're all going to take bonus damage. If you're taking damage from LILLIA, not only are you taking the bonus damage, but you're also taking extra damage from the ability and her passive. Yeah, this is going to be ridiculous. I'm not going to lie. Looking forward to play her, not looking forward to facing her. Either way, guys, that's it for this video. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed, don't forget to hit that like button, and I'll see you for the next one. We're in for a treat, ladies and gentlemen. We are in for a treat.